Alexis. How about that?
There you go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our second of two interviews this evening. That's right, our second of two. And I would dare say we saved the best for last, but we all know how much of a Panda fan I am. So sorry, Alexis, you get the consolation prize.
Yes, I'm waiting for him to make a donation to the World Wildlife Fund.
But we are joined by the host, again, mysterious by his absence. He's probably busy doing big money business, or maybe he's just smelling all those fake $100 bills. But, you and our co-host have something in common. You're from Northern California. He is from Southern California.
At least I'm from the good half.
I would tend to agree, So Big Money Dodge, whatever you're doing, you're missing out because you've got a fellow Californian in the interview tonight. Sucks to be you. But anyways, sir, why don't you tell us about yourself?
My name's Alexis Darevko. Almost 25 years in the business. The founder and booker of Action Coast Wrestling, of course, now owned by Going and Raw's Steven Larson. Been promoting and running shows pretty much my entire 25-year career. And just here to have a great time talking about pro wrestling with these fine gentlemen.
Hey, sounds good. So who were some of your wrestling heroes growing up?
Oh man, see, I was lucky enough to have cable, so I watched the NWA and the AWA. So all of my favorites are guys like Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Bobby Eaton, Dennis Condrey. I love Jim Cornette till this day. Of course, obviously Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes. All those guys were, the Rock and Roll Express, Sting. It's always a joke in my house that I think it's Dusty, I guess, because he was mainly a babyface, but Dusty, Sting, Tito Santana, and the Rock and Roll Express are the only baby faces I ever rooted for as a kid. Because I was always, I wanted all the heels to beat Hogan, and they never did. I never wanted Flair to lose, and he really never did. So, those were always the guys I liked. I liked the workers. I guess would be the technical term if we're talking modern day. But the bad guys just always drew me in, and I could root for them. I mean, I remember seeing the Road Warriors for the first time probably when I probably was 10 or something like that, and I don't know who the fuck these guys are, but I love them. I know they were technically good guys, but let's be real, they were really bad guys, even when they wrestled bad guys. So, especially in the 80s, probably before that first run they had in the WWF, they were always heels, no matter how they were booked.
Yep.
But I guess if you went to the WWF, it would have been probably Orndorff, Ted DiBiase as the $1 Million Man. Everyone shits on them, but I loved the Rougeau brothers. What a great tag team! I mean, man, the fact those guys never got a run with the belts is a crime. But yeah, I always just love those real, Ravishing Rick Rude, Kurt Hennig. I knew Kurt Hennig from the AWA. I knew Rude from the NWA. So, but that was kind of lucky. And being where I lived, we also got what's the Von Erichs territory? The World Class
WCC
yeah
World Class Championship Wrestling. So
WCW. We didn't get it all the time, but I know what used to come on like I don't know, like once a month for on Channel 58, and it was Channel 58 always had wrestling, but it wasn't always the same. Like it didn't have the WWF; it was always different wrestling. And I know for a while it was them, or maybe it was they were on like every 2 weeks. I don't remember what it was, but I know I'd see him every once in a while. So like I remember when Kerry Von Erich became, was he the Texas Tornado? I was like,
Yep.
that's Kerry Von Erich. Like that's not the Texas. I didn't know. I was dumb. It's like the first time Razor Ramon showed up, and I was like, that's the Diamond Stud. Like they just changed his name. So, but or Nash. Well, I can't remember what his name was, but I was like, that's not
Benny
Diesel.
Vegas.
There you go. Yeah, I was like, that's Benny Vegas. So. Mark What was Undertaker's name? I can't remember now.
Mark Calloway.
Me, Mark Calloway.
No, it was me, Mark Callis. That was his NWA WCW name. Yeah. Yep.
So he was part of the Skyscrapers.
Yes, with Sid, not Sid Vicious. Dan Spivey, right?
And then it was Sid Vicious.
Yeah. Okay.
Spivey left WCW.
Okay. Yeah. So, but I always loved the model Rick Martel.
Yep.
Very underrated, even though it ended, I think, with an injury. But his WCW World Television Title reign, probably second to none. Like Arn Anderson, Alex Wright, Rick Martel, TV champions. Like three of the best runs ever.
Yep.
People shit on Alex Wright, but he was the fucking best, man.
He was.
Oh wait, I can cuss, right?
Oh yeah, you can cuss.
You're good.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. Some people get mad about that.
No, you're
good. You're good.
You guys should feel special. I stopped drinking beer a while ago, but I was like, you know what? I want a Coors Light. It's like 100 million degrees here, so.
Oh, I bet.
I've already sweated it out, so I had to turn the AC off for the video. So
there's two things I remember about the Road Warriors that a lot of people don't. Well, and one thing about Rick Martel was when they took the spikes off the shoulder pads in the NWA and they stabbed Dusty Rhodes in the eye with it, going into like one of the Starcades.
Wasn't it War Games?
I think it was one of the Great American Bashes because it was him and Sting were a tag team against the Road Warriors.
God, I can't remember now. But yeah, I remember that. But you know what? That was Dusty being the booker, being like, "Oh, just beat the shit out of me. It's fine." And him being really the top guy in the company next to, well, don't tell Dusty I said this, but he was like second to the Rock and Roll Express. But hopefully he doesn't hear me.
No, that's the truth.
Yeah, but it was Dusty was break my arm. It's great. Stab me in the eye with a fucking okay.
Sure.
Dusty was just like, I'm gonna draw money with this. It's fine.
And then the thing with the Rougeos, people don't realize they did a finisher that nobody has done since.
No, never. You don't even see it on the indies.
No, which was the heart attack bottoms up.
Yep.
Where like the guy would hold him up in a heart attack position, and the guy on the top rope would do a bottoms up like Matt Borg used to do.
Yep. Like I said, man, it's a shame those guys never got the straps because they were good.
And
I think they got them because I'm not counting the one when was it Jacques Rougeau and Pierre Lafont or Carl Louette got him. I'm not counting that. I'm talking the Rougeau brothers. So, which, talk about a guy who reinvented a career 20 years after it was over.
Yes, very much so. PCO. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But the Rick Martel, this might be an obscure one because of the career that he had, But during that TV title reign, he did one of the best thrown through the window spots that I ever saw when he got thrown through the window on that Thunder from Saturn.
Oh man, you got me on that one, brother. Like, I don't remember that. I wasn't a big Thunder fan. Of course, no one really was, but
Yeah.
but yeah, no, that was that Rick Martel though. That run with the TV title. I got a buddy named Johnny Butabi. It's always like one of the things we always talk about is, oh man, that Martel TV title run was dope. It's just like we'll just randomly say it to each other.
Yeah, and you're right. If he wouldn't have tore his ACL, that would have gone on for a long time.
Oh yeah, he he wasn't going to lose that belt. So, but yeah, no, that was a fun run.
All right, Tony, you're up.
Okay, so my question is a two-parter. What are your pre-match and your post-match routines?
Well, let's go with post-match is probably chatting with my opponent or opponents. First thing, got to make sure everyone's okay. Make sure there's no complaints or disagreements. Then probably have a cold one or two. Or 17. Pre-match, man, I get dressed, so it's sort of like I'm like a baseball player. I'm very superstitious. I get dressed the same, no matter what. It's I have a little prayer I say to myself pretty much right before I go out. It's not really a prayer. It's more like just something I say to myself. But the best way I can put it is would be like a prayer. I do ask my late father every time to watch over me, make sure me and my friends that are in the ring are okay. But beyond that, man, I'm very chill. Probably till about probably once the match before me is winding down, I start to get that like animalistic in me, and I pace like a pissed off mountain lion. I just pace back and forth. It's nothing against anybody. Like I get into a zone. I have to become who I am, and I have to become the character. And you could talk to me, I won't even hear you. Yeah, I'll just be in a zone. But it's all in a matter of seconds. Really maybe minutes, but not much. I'm usually really chill. Like a lot of times I'm like, what match is up? They're like, the match before you. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, let's go. Where are they at? Oh, they're like halfway through. Okay, cool. And like I said, if I know the match for me has got 10 minutes and they're at 7.5, then it's like, boom, everything kicks in and I get in that zone. And then it's go time. Because when I go through that curtain, it's pure entertainment. So that's my, like I said, post match, it's check on everybody and have a good time.
Cool.
Very nice. So now I'm going to ask a question that Tony likes to ask. But
that's gimmick infringement.
I know, right? In about a year, we're going to be starting. I say we because it'll be me, Tony, and my co-host Big Buddy Dodge are going to be starting our own promotion down here in Washington called Inclusion Pro Wrestling.
Like the state of Washington or the city of Washington?
The state of Washington.
The state of Washington.
Oh, okay. Right on.
And so my question is, what advice would you give to a promoter starting a new promotion?
Don't do it. Have all your ducks in a row. Have a ring before you announce a card. Have a venue before you start booking people. Don't blow all your wad on your first show. And what I mean by that is and some people are going to say I'm wrong for this, but I really don't give a shit about anyone's opinion. If you're in Washington, use Washington people for a year. Don't bring anybody in. Use Washington people. Build a fan base. In a year, if you're in the black, book I don't know, Christopher Daniels. I'm just throwing a name out there. That's only if you're in the black after 1 year, because by that point, your first year, if you're in the black, you've done something right. Because not a lot of people are in the black after 5 years. And build your company on storylines. I hate titles, so if I could go back, Action Coast would not have titles. I would just be all straight storylines. I could care less. If somebody needs a belt to be over, fucking don't use them. But beyond that, don't do it. Just save your money and don't do it. But use locals, build your brand, have all your ducks in a row, go from there.
Got ya.
Good advice. All right. Well, this would be an interesting one. Best wrestler turned actor.
Ooh. I'm gonna say John Cena, man. I gotta go with John. I think John's a little more versatile than Brock. And Piper was really good when he wasn't being Roddy Piper. Because after a while, all of his roles were just versions of Roddy Piper.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I will say this, though. I haven't seen him a ton, but CM Punk has been on the show Mayans.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's really good. And he plays like an alcoholic, so it's kind of like, oh, okay, he's not just being straight edge. So it's kind of like, all right, cool. Phil's not, and he's actually like not just doing like CM Punk one-liners. He's actually acting and crying and shit like that. So Punk's good. He's just not at a level like I think Cena is. Like Cena is very versatile, much like The Rock is. It's very. It could go either way. I think Rock's the bigger box office, but I think John's the better actor.
And CM Punk's also really good at heels.
I've never seen it, so I can't really talk about it. But I believe you because I've heard. Because isn't his wife in the new season?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, I heard she's pretty good in it too.
So, top 5 indie tag teams today.
Oh man, you put me on the spot. I gotta go with the Downfall Cathedral out of Arizona.
Yep.
The Bike Club that are out of Northern California.
Okay.
Man, so many teams. what's their names? What's Ricky Gibson's 3 Minutes of Heat? Or Midnight Heat, yeah. Midnight Heat probably are the best tag team.
Wow.
They could be the best independent tag team in the country. I gotta go with Diesel Power Trip just because they're my tag champs. But they're a great trio, and they can. I let them. They can New Day the tag belts. So, I got three. My three top heels are in a group. So, and you could put them together, and also Joe Soul and Matt Carlos. They team a lot at Hood Slam, but Matt Carlos is fabulous, and as much as I don't like Joe Soul personally, he's a fairly decent pro wrestler. That's the nicest thing I'm ever going to say about him. How many is that? Is that 5?
That's 5.
That's 5.
Okay. I feel like I'm going to get when this comes out, I'm going to get a bunch of oh, you didn't mention me. Sorry, guys.
So
I will say this. I want to. This is they got put together because of injury, but I put Wonder or she killed me for saying that. Ultra Girl Brittany Wonder and Abigail Warren together after Brittany's husband Joey Smoke got hurt as a tag team, and they were fucking over like Rover. So that was a good mixture. I'm sure you guys have seen Abigail. She wrestles up in Washington, Oregon quite a bit.
Yep.
But that was one of those, oh, well, I gotta fix this. Oh, put me and Abigail together. Oh, okay. Wow, talk about chemistry. Okay.
Well, if you ever look for other good tag teams, look up Big Money Dodges, Big Money Exchange. Boom Mayhem. Boom Mayhem.
Big Money Exchange?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Boom Mayhem and Jimmy Mayhem. Or you might know him as Boom Shasta.
I don't know the names.
Okay. But yeah,
I don't know anyone's names. So.
Yeah, look at Big Money Exchange. They're a really good tag team. And they're actually in SoCal. And I'm sure they'd actually come to Northern Cal to wrestle. I mean, it's close. It's fairly painless.
Yeah, we're it's depending on where they are, because I run in the Bay and in Sacramento, so it's 5.5 hour drive. Again, depending on where they are. My view is always Orange County for everybody, so who knows?
I think that might be where they're at in the Orange County. But
Dream Slam and Compton Mania.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I think that's more South Central, but it's same distance. Not really any difference.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so question. Let's go your top 5 indie male wrestlers.
Mike Rain, number 1. Gino Rivera, number 2. Alpha Zoe, 3. Ethan HD is 4. Oh man, I'm gonna get killed for this. I'm gonna go Anton Voorhees 5.
That's a great list.
Yes, it is.
And all great people. I fucking love them all.
Great list. We've interviewed Gino Rivera,
Gino actually just Saturday night won the Battleground Pro Wrestling title out of Colorado, which
Yes,
I
it is.
used to be the booker of Battleground when it was in LA. So, and Pete, the owner, and I are still real good friends. So
Oh,
I was very
wow.
happy. Here's a little Gino Rivera story. I don't know, when he was brand new in the business and he was about $110. He was a great baby face, but I just couldn't have him beat anybody. And I wanted to put the Battleground title on him as a job guy. And they're like, what are you talking about? And I was like, they love him. He never has to win clean. He can win because the guy makes a mistake, and we'll just put him on as match one, and we'll have the tag titles be. At that point, our tag title division was real heavy. It was Sasha and I, the Stoner Brothers. I don't remember what Tito Escondido and his partner. I don't remember what his name is there off the top of my head. I think Robbie Phoenix and Joey Chaos were a tag team. I mean, we had the military tag guys. I don't know what their names were, but we had like 7 tag teams, and I was like, the tag division's the thing here. But we never could do it. But I remember I was telling him, I was like, no matter what, you're on every show. Don't ever ask me if you're booked. You're booked on every show, and you're always in match one because you make this crowd hot. So now he's this big bad fucking Puerto Rican heel, and just killing it. I'm super happy with that guy. I love him to death. We talk, a couple times a week. One of my favorite people in the world. If he called me right now and said, "Hey man, I got a problem," and I think he lives in New Mexico, I'd get on a flight. That's how much I love that guy.
Wow.
Nice.
And the other one we'd really love to get on this show at some point is Ethan HD.
Yes.
Because Nathan and I grew up watching Ethan HD when he was in the. Now we're gonna age ourselves. WCWC.
Ooh. Ooh. It's gonna be with no comment.
But a hell of a talent, regardless of the promotion he was.
Oh yeah, no, it's. Hey man, we all took bookings at places that had shitty promoters. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Exactly. No,
Yep.
Totally understand. All right, Nate, your question, my man.
So if you had a dream opponent from any generation, who would it be and why?
I have to give you 2.
Okay.
As the Russian Wolf, Alexis Darevko, and blah blah blah. I really think it would have to be Magnum TA just because of him and Ivan and Nikita and all that. I love that era, and Magnum. I was such a Magnum. He was one of the few babyfaces I ever rooted for. So there would be that that, and I think if I had to go with like right now, still being the big bad Russian, would be Cena. I think there's money there, and not saying I would draw money with Cena, but America, USA, especially now with the way things are going in the world, I think was a missed opportunity that they didn't have Cena do something with somebody that besides Rusev, who everyone knew wasn't Russian. So
yeah.
But I just think, and John and I actually crossed paths real early in our careers down in SoCal, and not saying we're friends, but there is a. If I saw him, he'd say, "Hey man, what's up?" Type deal. You know what I mean? I think that's the best way to say it. He wouldn't be like, "I don't know who that fucking guy is," because he knows who I am. So, but and he's super a great person. Like, I mean, you can't mention like, what was it last week or the week before? Everyone gave him shit because he was like, "Hey man, I'm having drinks with my buddies. Leave me the fuck alone."
Yeah.
He was way nicer about it than I would be, because I'd have thrown my drink at that guy. So he was like, "Hey man, I'm trying to enjoy time with my friends." He didn't say anything mean. He was a little irritated, you could tell, but guess what? Everyone deserves privacy no matter who they are. So
Exactly, and who wouldn't be upset? Like if you're
yeah.
out with your buddies and somebody walks up and is like, "Hey, talk to me," you're not gonna
I
be
also
like,
think if the guy hadn't had his phone out and just like, "Hey John, you can't see me," he probably would have been like, you know what I mean? But the guy had to have his
yeah,
phone out, and I get it. That's the way the
had to take
culture is now.
pictures.
Exactly, so people hating on John Ford. I'm like, nah.
Yeah,
All right.
all
Well,
right.
Oh man, there's some like random hands in the picture.
Now I'm diabetic and I live in a nursing home, but they're doing my blood sugar, so
well, he's getting his
Okay.
blood sugar checked.
which is another good tag team in Colorado, by the way. Just like a shameless plug off of what's going
All
on
right.
right now.
So Nathan's obviously, because he's diabetic, his favorite snack obviously is peanut butter. So what is your favorite cookie or snack?
Well, obviously not. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been diabetic.
It's not peanut butter. I'll say that right now. So I'm like a weirdo. I don't really like sweets. Not that I don't eat them. I will here and there. I think my go-to sweets is either a Milky Way bar or a Three Musketeers. Um, and then I'm weird and I like vanilla wafers. So that's sort of like my cookie of choice. If I had to go with anything, I go with a vanilla wafer.
Nice. Before I ask my next question, you said that you like Magnum TA. Now, since you're like the Russian Wolf, like you said, I can see a storyline like if you were around back, in that time period, where like you took on Nikita Koloff for like the second in command behind Ivan in the whole like that whole Russian faction that he had.
Yeah. Okay. I'd have been down for it. I mean, Ivan Koloff, the reason I wear the knee-high boots is because of him. So, I don't want to say I patterned my career after him, but there were a lot of things he did, with the boots and the chain, that I definitely stole and used in my career.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And I think that would be an amazing match, by the way.
I'd hope so. Hopefully we can get it on WWE 2K or something and do a sim.
That surprises me that like Nikita Koloff has never made it. Well, probably because he wasn't a WWE, but that he hasn't made it on any of the WWE games.
Politics, man.
Yeah, that's the truth. So I'm gonna give you another hard one.
Okay.
If you can book a WrestleMania,
that's what she said.
Exactly. You and I are gonna get along just fine. So if you could book a WrestleMania match, 6 matches, who would be in the match from any generation, and indies can be included?
Oh, it's like a 6-match card?
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh, wow. Okay. I think we have to go. The main event would have to be Ric Flair versus Roman Reigns.
Ooh.
And I'm talking Ric Flair, prime Ric Flair. Not now, Ric Flair. Medusa versus Becky Lynch.
Ooh.
I think you have to do Arn and Tully versus the Usos.
Oh.
Ooh.
And you'd have to do, and I'm going to go with Kofi and Xavier Woods versus the Rock and Roll.
Ooh.
Oh.
I mean, you got to go with it, and people can hate me all they want, but you're going to do Moolah versus Charlotte Flair.
I like that.
And then we do Eddie Guerrero, Jushin Thunder Liger, and Lionheart, Chris Jericho in a three-way.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, please. I don't care how much money those tickets cost. I'm buying front row seats to that card.
Average ticket price would be $2,000. Easy.
I better start saving now because I'm buying tickets for that.
Yeah.
Isn't that the truth? Okay, so we did the tag teams, we did the males. So top 5 female indie wrestlers.
Christina Von Eerie, Brittany Wonder, Casey Carlisle, and there's so many talented females out there. There's another youngster out of Arizona I really like. Her name's Brittany
Brooks?
Yes.
Yep.
Blonde, right?
Yep.
Her. And, oh, man, these two are going to kill me for not. Oh, I'm at the pick. I gotta go with, man.
You know what? So you don't die. We can add one onto that and make it top 6. So like,
yeah, you're killing me still. I gotta go with. Okay, hold on. So I'll put it this way: Lilith Grimm, Gypsy Mac,
yep.
Ty, and then honorable mention because she's kind of out of retirement, Nicole Savoy.
I like that list.
Yeah.
And I can name like 5 other people that I'd really put on the list.
Well, I don't know if you've
the interview
heard
that got
of-
away, Gypsy Mac. Yeah.
or still
What do you-
trying to get.
What'd you say about Gypsy? I didn't hear you.
I was just saying, yeah, the interview that we're still trying to get is Gypsy Mac.
She's a popular lady.
Yes, she is.
But there's another lady that wrestles out of Arizona that that we've interviewed. That's an awesome wrestler. Her name is SOS.
We keep missing each other. Like, it's always I'm on a show and then the next show she's on it, or vice versa. So I haven't met her yet. Or I was supposed to be on a show she was on, and I accidentally double booked myself and was like, oh shit, man, I can't make the show. I'm so sorry. I'd never done that before. I just got the days mixed up. I thought the 4th was a Saturday, not a Sunday, and so I took a booking and then it was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Nathan, wouldn't SOS be 3 people?
I was just gonna say the thing that makes her character very interesting is she wrestles a multiple personality character. Now, people do that in wrestling, but she does it during the match. So during the
Oh,
match, she'll high five herself and switch the persona.
oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen her work. I saw clips, but it's not like the full on gimmick, just bumping.
And I thought that was very innovative because, again, that's something you've never seen, right? You've seen people
No.
do like promos and stuff where
Well,
they.
Mick did it, but other than that, no one really else did it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
well.
he did it during the Royal Rumble where he came out like 3 different
Yeah.
times as like 3 different characters. But
We had a guy here for a while. He actually doesn't wrestle anymore. His name was Merrick. He had like voices in his head, so he'd like talk to this guy, and I always thought it was the best gimmick ever because it was just like out of left field. So he just started talking to the roof one day, and I was like, "What's going on?" And everyone's like, "You haven't seen this?" And I fell in love with the gimmick. I was like, "Oh, bro, you're straight to the card, buddy. Straight to the top of the card."
Still don't know who you're talking to, but it's awesome. So we're just gonna.
I
go
love
with
it. Oh, so much interaction with the fans. Who are
Yeah,
you talking to? Him. Who? Him.
him.
You're killing 10 minutes, not even working. It's great.
Yep.
Yep. So,
Um. So, what's the craziest match you've ever been in or seen?
well, I'm sort of known for my last man standing matches. So I've been in a lot of those over the last 20 years or so. A lot of them hurt, but they were all safe for the most part. I will say that I always give him credit for this. Is a guy I've worked many, many times. He's in the bike club named Sean Sims. We had a long feud at an old company out of the Bay Area, and we did a couple last man standing matches, but we had one, and he hit me with a phone book. To this day, I say it's the most painful thing that ever happened to me in pro wrestling.
Ouch.
I literally was like, "Oh, this isn't gonna fucking hurt, bro." I remember I told the referee, I was like, "You give me a fucking few minutes, like don't even count," and I'm laying on the ground. Like, yeah, it was pretty fucking painful, and was like, "Oh, okay, all right." But I think craziest, man. I'm not into it, but I've been to a couple of I've been on shows that have been, what do you call them, deathmatch shows, where I did like a fucking street fight or something, and it was just us punching each other in the face, and then for the next 17 hours, guys were hitting each other with light tubes, and it was awful. But I've been to a few of those shows where it's like, I don't even know what's going on, but these dudes are like falling through plates of glass and shit like that. So probably the craziest thing I've ever really seen, but nothing I enjoyed. I'll say that much. Anyone knows me, I don't like death matches. So
Got ya.
Well, that would have been Big Money Dodge's question. So Big Money, if you're watching, no, he does not like death matches.
they're about as good as the Young Bucks.
Oh,
ouch. What do you like to do for your hobbies?
Camping is a big thing. I try to camp as much as I can. Obviously, with our schedules being nights and weekends, sometimes hard. But in the later years of my career, I've been like, I'm going camping this weekend every year. Don't book me. Blah blah blah. Man, I got a buddy. We purposely get together and we throw hours and hours of cornhole together, which, whatever you want to call it, it's super relaxing to me. Just to toss the beanbag around and whether we drink or we don't drink, it doesn't matter. Usually we drink, but we play cornhole a lot. Not as much recently because he moved and it just kind of got back into town. But we're going to start working on it. I spend as much time with my girlfriend as I can. And we've been together about a year. Let's just say a year and a half at this point. Actually, I think next month would be a year and a half. We live in the same town, but we don't see each other every day. So that's, nice. We don't get sick of each other. She's actually been texting me and I haven't texted her back during this conversation. Man, time with friends. There are a lot of wrestlers that, behind the scenes I'm friends with, and we all do hang out. I still believe in a little bit of kayfabe, so you'll never ever know that I'm with them unless we're on the same side, whether they're heels or I'm a heel, I'm a face and they're a face. I'll never post about it, but I enjoy it. Somebody who's a heel is supposed to be coming over tonight and having a couple beers, and I won't say who they are. But man, I just enjoy life. I enjoy getting away from wrestling, and again, I'm not trying to diss pro wrestling because I love it. I'm probably one of the few guys that actually made money, even in the bad times. I still made money because I was in demand. But I learned, next month it'll be 25 years, and I learned probably 5 years ago that, oh man, not taking a booking isn't the worst thing in the world. Like 5 years ago. So now, now I go, like I've worked since June started. I've worked one show, and it was an Action Coast show. And I said I just was going to take this summer off. I have one show in August, and I'm not doing anything until September. And I know a lot of guys are like, "Oh man, I'm going to lose my spot," and blah blah. Man, there ain't no spots in pro wrestling. Learn to enjoy your life. Learn to have some fun and go to a birthday party. I missed so many birthday parties and weddings and funerals, and over the last 20 years, I didn't go to anything. Like I couldn't tell you when people's anniversaries are. I just found out the other day was my sister-in-law's birthday, and it's probably the first time in. I think her and my brother have been married since 2000. That I wished her a happy birthday. Because I just figured out that her birthday was like 2 days ago or something.
Oh,
it was this week, or maybe it was Sunday. I don't remember. It was really recently, right? I don't think I've ever wished her happy. I just was like, oh, it's her birthday. I should wish her a happy birthday in a text message, not on Facebook. So just take time, man. And missing one show, if a promoter is going to say to you, oh, you missed a show, I'm not going to book you anymore, don't work there. That's what I learned. Hey, man, I want to spend time with my friends and family. And the guy says to me, fuck you. Okay. Guess what? You're never hearing from me again. So, but for me, like I said, just outside of, sorry, I got on a little bit of a rant there. I just enjoy camping, cornhole with my buddies, hanging out with my girlfriend. She's a fucking fun person. Hanging out with just, random wrestlers. I love it, man. I love going to places and seeing Downfall Cathedral and Ethan HD. I would love to hang out with Ethan. I haven't seen him in years, but I love that guy. I've learned to enjoy life outside of pro wrestling while still being in pro wrestling. Sorry, I went on a rant.
No, you're good.
Oh, no, you're good.
If you can sign with the 4 major promotions, meaning WWE, AEW, Impact, or New Japan, which one would it be, and who would be your first opponent?
I would never sign with New Japan because none of them are worth me wrestling. Um, uh, I I will always say that I would go to the WWF because that's their WWE because that's where the money is. Um, but I'm one of those few people is I'm an Impact person. I love Impact. I've watched it for years. I love what they do. It's a shame they don't get more love.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think if I was, I mean, being really, anyone who says they're not going to sign with the WWE are lying. Just to be honest, I would always Vince or Triple H, or Stephanie or Shane, whoever calls people nowadays. I'd be there in a heartbeat. I'd be there tomorrow. I'd probably spend 6 months in TNA getting in shape, but other than that, I can go there tomorrow and we'd rock. But if I had to do my second choice, and this is not discounting Impact, I'd go to Billy Corgan's NWA.
Nice.
I love everything for the most part, and I say that about everybody. Billy's vision of the NWA is like, I get what he's doing. I see what he's doing. I get it. I really enjoy what he does with that brand, and I really enjoy watching Power and the other shows that he has. So I enjoy it. But anyone who says they don't want to work for Vince because of whatever reason, you're a liar. You'll make more in one day working one night for Vince McMahon than you will for everyone else in 10 years.
I agree with that. And I agree with the NWA. I think he's done a good job, keeping the essence of what the NWA was, especially because it's like it has a studio, feel to it, which was the old style of like the NWA.
That was wrestling. That's the old style of wrestling, not just the NWA. If you look back to old videotapes when Vince Senior owned shit, that's what you saw.
Yep.
So, but yeah, no, it's wrestling has so much TV and so much product going on right now. It's fucking great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Go ahead, Nate. Ask another one.
So if you had a dream tag team partner from any generation, who would it be and why?
I already had him. His name's Sasha Darevko. He's my brother. We had a great run together. I would never ask for anyone else. Not one person in the business. We were put together by accident, and by accident we looked like each other, and it was like, holy shit, we're brothers now. And from the minute that happens, probably close to 10 years ago, we've been brothers ever since. And don't be surprised if in late 23 or early 24 the brothers Darevko make a surprise return for, I don't have a lot of left in the tank, but maybe one last run in the tag division around the Indies.
Very cool.
Very cool. So, all right. So I guess the burning question is, where can everybody find you on social media? When's your next match?
everything on social media is at Alexis Darevko. It's AlexisDarevko. I only have Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you really want to talk to me, hit me up on Instagram because I don't really use the other three unless I have to. My next show will be August 5th in Pacheco, California at the world famous Pacheco Square Garden, the home of East Bay Pro Wrestling. They are actually hosting Action Coast Wrestling's anniversary show, the 12-year anniversary show. And I will be fighting a gentleman named Brigham, who is nearly 7 feet tall. And it's going to be a hell of a fight. We've got Christina Von Eerie versus Ender Mundi on that show. Mike Rain, the California Wrestling Association champion, versus Alpha Zoe, the ECW champion. We've got O.C. Hayes and Andrew Cass versus the ACW tag champs, Trip Rogers and Jonah Soul. We've also got, it's Trip Rogers and Johnny Butabi, and then Jonah Soul versus DJ Fresh, also on the show. I think we're adding one more match next week. So August 5th, Pacheco, California, 7:30 doors. And I'll also be on that show.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Nathan, anything else?
As I said, we're doing a promotion tentatively in about a year, and if you guys are up to it, I would love to have you and your brother down here as a tag team to wrestle for us.
Sure, man. Hit me up. We'll talk details.
All right, cool. The first show is going to be a benefit show, too, for the Special Olympics.
Oh, nice. I used to work at the Special Olympics here in Sacramento. I used to coach the softball back when I was a young teenager.
Very nice. So, yeah,
We did well, too.
Keep you updated.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
All right. Well, with that, now it's time for what Big Money Dodge calls my infomercial. So, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, please help support this man, Big Money Dodge. For as much as I pick on him, poke fun at him, and punish him for being a panda-loving, apple-throwing fool, or panda-hating, apple
I was going to say, aren't you the panda loving?
Sorry. He's got a online wrestling compound that he wants to start up. It's an online training facility called the Big Money Compound. $25 a month, or $25 a session, $150 a month. You can find him on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Big Money Dodge on all 4 handles, Big Money Compound on Twitter or on Instagram and Facebook. You can hit up his VP, Boom Shasta or Boom Mayhem on Facebook or Instagram. Like you, sir, his first trainer is going to be a 22 or 23-year veteran from Southern California who has actually wrestled WWE Hall of Famer not once but twice and beat him not once but twice, Rey Mysterio Jr., and I'm talking about none other than SoCal Crazy.
I know Crazy.
And our other 2 sponsors are the CARE program, which stands for Community Action Reaching Everybody. And to get a hold of the lady that's in charge of that is you can get a hold of Becky Bernhardt and Bruce Nichols Painting for all your painting, pressure washing, and lead removal needs. And you can find him on Angie's.
So it's been a wonderful time. Thank you again for showing up or for coming on our podcast. We really appreciated it.
Yep.
We'll definitely be in contact and would love to have you on the show again. But
yeah, let me know anytime.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
But for the meantime, for Nathan, for myself, for Alexis, we'll see you guys next time.